Welcome back. In this tutorial, we will dive into the essentials of reactive forms in Angular. You will learn how to build form using a clear, model-driven approach with proper validation and full control over your form state. In Angular, there are two main ways to build forms: template-driven forms and reactive forms. Template-driven forms are simple and rely heavily on the template, which works fine for small forms but quickly becomes hard to maintain. Reactive forms, on the other hand, are built around explicit form models in TypeScript. They offer better structure, stronger validation, easier testing, and far more control, which makes them the preferred choice for complex or scalable application. In this demo, we will build a basic login page to demonstrate the most important concepts of reactive forms in practice. So let's get started. Using the command line interface, we create a new Angular project. So project has been created. We open it in IntelliJ and add a new component called login. After that, we will update the main component to render the login component when the application is loaded. So we remove this default code and replace it with the selector for the login page. We need to import the component here. So let's run the server. Now we define the form fields directly in the component class. First, we need to inject the form builder service using the constructor. However, to be able to use reactive forms, we need to import this module. With the form builder service, we create a form group, an object designed to hold the form controls together. We need to declare the form group here. The form group accepts an object where each key represents a form control and its configuration. So we start by defining the first field, username, with an empty default value and the required validator. Then we add the password field, also with an empty default value, and apply both the required and mid-length 6-character validators. And next we add a method to submit the form. For now, we will simply log the form's content to the console. As you can see, the login form contains a lot of useful information, including whether the form is valid based on the validators we defined, as well as the values entered by the user. So in the method, we check first whether the form is valid, and we log the information in the console. At this point, the template is still unaware of our reactive form, so we need to connect the two. We do this by using the form group directive, binding it to a login form, and wiring up the submit handler. I also apply some basic styling using the login form CSS class. And next, we add the username field. We start with a label, then the input element, and use the form control name directive to bind it to the control defined in the component. We do the same for the password field, binding it using the form control name directive. Then we add the submit button. At this point, the form is almost complete. The final step is to display validation errors based on the configured validators. We use the ngIf directive to conditionally display the error message. As you can see, we access the username control using get, which exposes useful state information such as whether the field has been touched and whether it is valid according to the defined validators. We do the same for the password field. So we open the browser and we check our login page. And you see this is the error message. It requires at least 6 characters. We open the console and the information is logged here. So far we have only used built-in validators. Now let's look how to create a custom validator. As an example, we will prevent users from logging in with the username admin by creating a custom validator called forbidden username. This function accepts a string and returns validator function. The returned validator is implemented as a lambda function that receives an abstract control and either returns validation errors or null if the value is valid. The custom logic checks that the field is not empty and that its value is different from the forbidden username passed to the function. So now in the definition of our fields, we need to add the new validators. So here in the username, because this is an array, so let's check in the browser. So if you enter admin, it will not be accepted. This one is accepted. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching and bye.